So hello everyone, I am Crisnovel, Yriarte. I am going to report the 5 topics today. 1 is curriculum and curriculum development. 2. Constructively aligned and developmentally sequenced learning programs, experiences, and instructional processes. 3. Contextualized learning programs or instructional plans. 4. Teaching strategies that are inclusive of learning from indigenous groups. 5. Selection and use of tools appropriate for monitoring, critiquing, and assessing instructional plans. May you watch the entire report and learn from it. Without further ado, I'll begin. Now, what is curriculum? Curriculum refers to the planned activities, lessons, and learning experiences that are designed to achieve specific educational goals. It includes the content, skills, knowledge that students are expected to learn. Like for example, so examples of the curriculum depending on the educational levels and subject area. First, primary school. Curriculum in primary schools. The curriculum typically includes subjects like mathematics, language arts, reading, writing, and grammar, science, social studies, physical education, art, and music. The curriculum focuses on building foundational skills and knowledge. Second, high school curriculum. In high school, the curriculum becomes more specialized and allows students to choose elective course based on their interest. Core subjects usually include mathematics, English, science, social studies, and foreign languages. Elective courses can include subjects like computer science, fine arts, physical education, and vocational training. Third is college or the university. Curriculum in higher education. The curriculum is often divided into majors or discipline. Students choose a specific field of study, such as psychology, engineering, business, or biology, and take courses that are relevant to their choices major. The curriculum includes both core courses that provide a broad foundation in the field and specialized courses that delve deeper into specific topics. Fourth, vocational training. Curriculum vocational training programs such as those for trades like carpentry, plumbing, or culinary arts have their own specialized curricula. This curricula focuses on providing hands-on training and practical skills necessary for specific occupations. These are just a few examples, and there are many other types of curricula depending on the educational context and goals. Curriculum development, on the other hand, is the process of creating and designing a curriculum. It involves making decisions about what to teach, how to teach it, and how to assess student learning. Curriculum developers consider factors such as educational goals, student needs, societal demands, and educational research when designing a curriculum. Curriculum development is a dynamic and ongoing process that takes into account the changing needs of students and society. It aims to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success in various aspects of life. Example of curriculum development. Let's say we are developing a curriculum for a new course on digital marketing at university. First, needs assessment. Conduct research and gather information to determine the needs for a digital marketing course. This may involve analyzing industry need trends, job market demands, and student interest. Second, learning outcomes. Identify the specific learning outcomes or goals that students should achieve by the end of the course. For example, students should be able to develop digital marketing strategies, analyze data, and implement various digital marketing techniques. Third, content selection. Determine the key topics and concept that needs to be covered in a course. This may include areas like social media marketing, search engine optimizations, content marketing, email marketing, and digital analytics. Fourth, lesson planning. Break down the course into individual lessons or modules. Determine the sequence of topics, allocate time for each lessons, and plan activities, assignments, and assessments to reinforce learning. Fifth, instructional methods. Decide on the instructional methods that will be used to deliver the context or the content. This can include a combination of lectures, discussions, case studies, group projects, guest speaker, and hands-on activities. 6. Learning resources. Identify the resources that will support student learning, such as textbooks, online articles, videos, and software tools. Ensure that these resources are up to date and relevant to the field of digital marketing. 7. Assessment strategies. Determine how student learning will be assessed. They may include quizzes, exams, projects, presentations, and portfolios assessment. Align the assessments with the learning outcomes to measure student progress and achievements. 8. Revision and evaluation. Continuously review and revise the curriculum based on student feedback, industry changes, and emerging trends in digital marketing. Evaluate the effectiveness of the curriculum in achieving the desired learning outcomes. Remember, this is just one example of curriculum development, and the process may vary depending on the educational context and goals of the course or program. Let's proceed the second one. Constructively aligned and developmentally sequence learning programs, experiences, and instructional processes are designed to ensure that the content, activities, and assessments in an educational setting are aligned with the desired presentation in a logical and progressive manner. Here's a breakdown of these concepts. First, constructively alignment. Constructive alignment is an instructional design approach that emphasizes aligning the learning outcomes, teaching methods, and assessment strategies to ensure coherence and effectiveness in learning. It involves designing instructional in a way that supports students in achieving the desired learning outcomes. The key idea is that the learning activities and assessments should directly align with the intended learning outcomes, ensuring that students are actively engaged in meaningful learning experiences. Second, developmental sequencing. Developmental sequencing refers to the process of structuring learning experiences and instructional processes in a logical and a progressive order. It involves organizing content and activities in a way that builds upon prior knowledge and skills, allowing learners to gradually develop a deeper understanding of this subject matter. Developmental sequencing takes into account the developmental stage or readiness and prior knowledge of learners to ensure that the learning experiences are appropriate and scaffold for their level of understanding. By combining constructive alignment and developmental sequencing, educators can create effective learning programs and experiences. Here how they work together. Constructively alignment ensures that the learner's outcomes, teaching methods, and assessments are closely aligned, so that students can actively engage in a meaningful learning experiences that directly support the desired outcomes. Developmental sequencing ensures that the content, activities, and instructional processes are presented in a logical and progressive manner, building upon prior knowledge and skills. This helps learners to develop a deeper understanding and mastery of the subject matter. Together, these approaches help to create a coherent and effective learning environment where learners are actively engaged and their progress is supported and assessed in a way that aligned with their learning goals. Let's proceed to the third one. So contextualized learning programs or instructional plans are designed to make learning more relevant and meaningful by connecting it to real-world contexts and situations. These programs are plans aimed to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical application, helping learners understand how the knowledge and skills they acquire can be used in authentic situations. Here are a sample of contextualized learning program for teaching financial literacy to high school students. First, personal finance. The program starts by introducing students to personal finance concepts. They'll learn about budgeting, saving, and managing personal expenses. Instead of just learning theoretical concepts, students are encouraged to apply this concept to their own lives by creating a budget for their monthly expenses or setting financial goals. Second, banking and financial services. The programs then focuses on teaching students about banking and financial services. They'll learn about different types of bank accounts, how to manage a checking account, and the benefit and rest of using credit cards. Students are provided with opportunity to visit local banks or engage in online simulations to experience real-world banking transactions. Third, investment and retirement planning. As students progress, the program introduced investment and retirement planning concepts. They learn about different investment options such as stock, bonds, and mutual funds, and how to make informed investment decisions. Students may participate in a virtual stock market simulations or analyze real-life investment scenarios to understand the potential risks and rewards. Fourth, entrepreneurship and business. The programs incorporate elements of entrepreneurship and business by teaching students about starting and managing a small business. They'll learn about market research, creating a business plan, and marketing strategies. Students may have the opportunity to develop their own business ideas and present them to a panel of local entrepreneurs or business professionals. Fifth, real-world application. Throughout the program, students are provided with opportunities to apply their financial literacy knowledge in real-world scenarios. They may participate in financial literacy challenges or simulations where they have to make financial decisions based on different scenarios, such as buying a car or renting an apartment. By contextualizing the learning experiences and instructional plans, students can use the direct relevance and practical applications of the knowledge and skills they acquire. This approach helps to enhance students' engagements, motivations, and retentions as they connect what they learn to their own lives and future aspirations. Teaching strategies that are inclusive of learners from indigenous groups are instructional approaches and practices that recognize and respect the cultural backgrounds, languages, and knowledge system of indigenous students. These strategies aim to create a learning environment that values and incorporates indigenous perspective, experiences, and ways of knowing. Here are some key aspects of inclusive teaching strategies for indigenous learners. First, cultural pedagogy. Culturally response pedagogy involves acknowledging and incorporating the cultural values, traditions, and histories of indigenous community. In the curriculum and the instructional practices, it recognizes the importance of culturally relevant content and materials that reflect the experiences and knowledge of indigenous peoples. Second, incorporating indigenous knowledge. Inclusive teaching strategies involves integrating indigenous knowledge systems, perspectives, and practices into the curriculum. This might involve inviting indigenous elders or community members to share their knowledge and stories, incorporating traditional practices and ceremonies into lessons, or exploring indigenous perspectives on topic within the curriculum. Third, language translations. Recognizing the importance of language inclusive teaching strategies may involve supporting the relevance of indigenous languages. They could include incorporating indigenous languages into the classroom, providing resources for language learning, or inviting indigenous language speakers to share their language with students. Fourth, community engagement. Inclusive teaching strategies involve fostering connections between the classroom and the indigenous community. This might include inviting community members to speak in the classroom, organizing field trips into indigenous cultural sites, or engaging a service learning projects that benefits the community. Fifth, differentiated instructions. Inclusive teaching strategies recognize and accommodate the diverse learning needs and styles of indigenous students. This might involve using a variety of instructional methods, providing options for student choice and autonomy, and adapting materials and assessment to be culturally relevant and accessible. 6. Relationship building. Inclusive teaching strategies prioritize building positive and respectful relationships with indigenous students and their families. This includes creating a safe and inclusive classroom environment, actively listening to students' perspective and experiences, and involving families and communities in the educational process. These inclusive teaching strategies aim to create a learning environment that values and respects indigenous cultures, languages, and knowledge systems. They promote a sense of belonging, identity, and pride among indigenous learners, leading to improved engagement, motivations, and academic success. Last but on the list, the selection and the use of tools appropriate for monitoring, critiquing, and assessing instructional plans involve choosing and utilizing effective methods and instruments to evaluate the effectiveness and instructional strategies and their impact on student learning. Here are some examples of tools that can be used for this purpose. First, observation and reflection. Classroom observations can provide valuable insights into instructional practices. Educators can use structured observations, protocols, or checklists to systematically observe and document instructional strategies. Student engagement and classroom dynamics, self-reflection exercise can also help educators critically analyze their instructional plans and identify areas for improvement. Second, student feedback. Gathering feedback from students is a valuable tool for assessing instructional plans. Surveys, questionnaires, or interviews can be used to gather students' perspective on the effectiveness of the instructional strategies, clarity of instructions, and their overall learning experiences. This feedback can provide valuable insights into the strength and weakness of the instructional plans. Third, formative assessments. Formative assessments are ongoing assessments used to monitor students' learning progress during instructions. This can include quizzes, short written assignments, group discussions, or classroom activities that allows educators to gauge students' understand and adjust instructional plans. Accordingly, formative assessments provide timely feedbacks to the both educators and students, helping to identify areas that needs further attentions or clarifications. Fourth, peer review and collaboration. Engaging in peer review and collaborations can be a valuable tool for critiquing instructional plans. Educators can form professional learning communities or participate in peer observation programs to receive feedback and suggestions from colleagues. This collaborations approach allows for sharing ideas, discussing instructional strategies, and receiving constructive criticism to improve instructional plans. Fifth, data analysis. Analyzing data from students' assessments such as standardized tests or performance tasks can provide insight into the effectiveness of instructional plans. This analysis can help identify areas of strength and areas that may require adjustments or modifications. Data can also be used to track students' progress over time and inform instructional decisions making. 6. External evaluation. In some cases, external evaluators or experts in the fields of education can be engaged to assess instructional plans. These individuals can provide an objective perspective and offer recommendations for improvements based on their expertise and experiences. It's important to select and use tools that align with the specific goals and objectives of the instructional plans, as well as the needs and characteristics of the learners. The data and the feedback gathered through these tools can inform ongoing reflections and refinement of instructional plans to ensure continuous improvements in teaching and learning. I hope you learned something for today, and that's all my topic. God bless us all. Bye-bye.